Hey, everybody. This is Will Stuyvesant, National Director with Consumer Energy Options. We just want to thank, on behalf of CEO, everybody that has got on our CEO corporate calls. We find that those that are staying plugged in on a weekly basis on these corporate calls are also those that typically have success that follows them. In addition to that, for those of you that are not aware, we have portals, online portals that you can access through your back office that you can submit residential accounts through Direct Energy. And we have found that they have been competitively priced. And in addition to that, those that submit an account today typically get paid a check on the following month's commission run. So it's the fastest way for us to get paid through CEO. In addition to that, on Monday and Tuesday nights, Nathan Matlich, our national director out in Montana, and myself do training calls, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nate does them on Monday nights. I do them on Tuesday nights for those that would like to get further training with CEO. They're more laid back than our corporate phone calls, not more interactive, not as much, instruction. So one of the things I ask myself every single day, and I'm sure you guys have heard this over and over, but let me tell you this. Why would somebody want to get involved with CEO? And the number one reason is there's absolutely no investment to get involved with us. We offer a residual income that comes from services that are unconsciously purchased, which makes us recession-proof. We help people who are unknowingly and unnecessarily paying way too much for their utility costs, and we have no cap on income or promotions and no boss. We are paid multiple different ways, residually and lump sum-wise. And in addition to that, just to give you an example, so to make an extra $500 a month, if you had that invested, you'd have to have about $120,000 saved up, and most people do not have $120,000 to save. You can make that very easily on a residual basis with CEO by building a team, especially at getting at the senior consultant level. In addition to that, if you're brand new to CEO, we highly recommend that you get your first 5 accounts in and create your list of people to talk to. One of the first 5 can be yourself. We recommend that you go to people that you know and trust that are easy slam dunks, would give you money if you ask for them, or if you needed a place to stay, they would do that. Those are the people that are more than likely going to give you the energy bills to review to see if you can help them out. In addition to that, every week we like to cover our leaderboard. And our natural gas leaderboard, we have number 10, the GTG group, number 9, Travis Miller, number 8, John Bernard, number 7, Shaftai Cohen, number 5, Dave Besser, number 4, Lisa Cornell, number 3, Jerry Rule, number 2, Will Stuyvesant, number 1, Gary Hoffbeck. On our electricity leaderboard, we have number 10, Shaftai Cohen, number 9, Megla C., number 8, Tom Z., number 7, Dave Besser, number 6, Eli A., number 5, Stephen B., number 4, Lioness, number 3, Mark Milstein, number 2, Noisy Radical Universe, and number 1, Joe and Michelle Z. On our team additions, we have number 5, Shaftai Cohen, tied for number 4, Libby Elliott and Bobby Hill, number 3, Sam Callan, tied for number 3, Sam Callan and Stephen B., number 2, Will Stuyvesant, and number 1, Chosen Few Marketing. And so congratulations to all of those who have made it to the leaderboard. Those that make the leaderboard are those that end up getting paid checks afterwards. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our National Director, Nathan Matlich. Nate, are you there?
I am, Will.
All right, buddy. You take it away, buddy.
All right, thanks. So excited for everyone jumping on the call today. Hopefully, some of the nuggets and words of wisdom that I have today will help out everyone. I guess the first thing I'll start out with is just this morning I got a call from a gentleman. He's out on the East Coast. He's been doing the energy business for a little while now, and he called me up and he's like, hey Nate, what do you guys have going on with Consumer Energy Options? I got a taste of selling commercial electricity, commercial natural gas. I love it. But the current company that I'm with, they tell me that they're going to pay commissions and they're not. My commissions are late. this, that, and other. And what do you guys have going on, over with Consumer Energy Options? And so I started explaining, what we're up to here. I was telling them about, our residual commissions and that, all of our agents, once they sign up an account, as long as that account stays with us and one of our suppliers are getting paid for life, we calculate all the commissions down to the hundredth and thousandth of a penny, and it's all reported electronically, and that everyone knows that same time every month they get a whole report of all their commissions. They get that commission check mailed out to them. Those sorts of things. And one of the books that I read a little while ago, great book called Built to Last. And I was just looking at my bookshelf today, and I think about Consumer Energy Options, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, we really are built to last. If you look at us, we've been around, 5 years. The suppliers that have assets in the multi-billion, some as many as like $49 billion in assets. Always nice to have that big of a company, backing you and supporting you. Commissions are paid out on a residual basis. Consumer Energy Options has no debt on the books. Basically, as soon as we get those commissions, we're turning right around. We're paying those out to our agents, where, I have absolutely zero concern that Consumer Energy Options is going away. Everyone uses gas, electricity, telecom. Pretty soon everyone's going to have a Nest smart thermostat, thanks to your hard work and Direct Energy's partnership with us. So there's a lot of companies out there, believe it or not, that, they come and go, and they promise that they have this new hot, technology. Just last week I had a guy, want me to get involved with some new hot technology that I can make a lot of money off of. And then I, look at my Consumer Energy Options paycheck, and I'm like, man, why would I trade in a guaranteed residual income in the utilities business for some new hot technology that's probably not going to be, be here in a couple years? Technology is just changing so fast. People want me to get involved with this internet company or that internet company or this technology or that. The reason why I would bet on Consumer Energy Options every single day of the week is because, people are going to continue to use it. I have some really good friends that have been successful, selling, skincare products, lotions, vitamins, cleaning products, green products, all these different types of things. And, I just think to myself, I'm like, man, at any day of the week, someone could say, oh, I found a better vitamin, or I found a better skincare product, or a better lotion, or a better, dieting product, or a locally sourced, X, Y, and Z, and that they can very easily go and, pick it up at, Target or Walmart or whatever it might be. But, you can't do that with energy. So, I really do think that Consumer Energy Options is built to last. And, that gets me excited. And, it's building a residual income and the patience and the hard work and dedication, or even, putting up the upfront commissions and getting people the Nest thermostats in people's hands. The actual act of it might not be quote unquote sexy, but the long-term benefit both for our customers having those lower rates, getting those Nest thermostats, building it, that sort of thing, and for us, that having that income, the residual income, and a lot of those utility savings products, that's what is sexy. And so as long as you maintain focus, take action, and plug into these calls, we're just seeing that those individuals are experiencing just some monumental, exponential growth in their incomes and what they're doing. Just the other day, one of my favorite authors, I think Will knows this guy, Grant Cardone. The other day he put something up that I read, and the quote was, "You haven't seen me in the club? What? You haven't seen me in the bar? Well, that's fine because I haven't seen you at the bank. And, there's just a whole lot of truth to that. And, you could, whether it's not, your friends saying, hey, why aren't you, I don't see you at the club anymore. I don't see you at the bar. I don't see you out. I don't see you, spending all this money on frivolous things. Well, we're busy making money so that, we can reach our goals. Maybe it's the other day I was talking to a gentleman. He wants to, get involved in something where he can put in 5 years of solid work and then reap the benefits long term so that he can spend a lot more time with his kids. I personally wanted to, put in all the time, effort, energy, grind it out, make it happen, within the last 4 or 5 years so that I can move back to Montana and be closer to my family. And as far as this, you haven't seen me XYZ, I haven't seen you at the bank. Well, guess what? For those of you who are jumping on these conference calls during the day on Tuesday, Monday night at 8 p.m. Central or 9 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday night, Will's got 9 p.m. Eastern. We got our team conference calls. All I got to say is, for those of you that we're not seeing on these conference calls, we're not, you're probably not going to see as much growth in your business, and you're probably not going to be taking as big of paychecks to the bank. So, thank you for all of you who are jumping on these calls. We really appreciate that. And then, those are the individuals that we're constantly seeing on the leaderboard. So, you are definitely doing all the right things. Just within the past couple of days, Will and I, we jump on the phone, we talk to each other, we talk about what we're seeing out there. And both Will and I, who, we've been grinding it out, putting in the long hours, being dedicated to continuing to grow the CEO business, over time. We were talking, and we're both, kind of looking at, the neat thing is in your back offices, there's the graphs where, you see your trends for your, how many accounts that you've brought on board, what your income is, what the natural gas usage is, what the electricity usage is. Rich Weinberg has done a real nice job doing that. And one thing that both Will and I noticed is that, with just this last winter, it seemed like kind of a mild winter. There was maybe a 30% plus or minus, less usage in the natural gas. Maybe it's because we're spoiled with big paychecks when the polar vortex hit. Since the usage for natural gas in the winter was off the charts, a couple of winters ago. But Will and I, we were checking out the gas usage, and we were talking about, where we saw, our income and our paychecks. And I don't know of any other job where this happens, but the natural gas usage, so the usage of our products and services was down in the winter about 30% plus or minus compared to what we thought it would be. Yet my paycheck went up by at least 25%. So I don't know of any jobs where you could go to the job and you could work 30% less and the job pays you, 25% more. I know that, Will's had one heck of a year. His income has gone up, way more than 25%. But just something that's really neat. But at the end of the day, you got to grind it. You got to do the hard work. You got to jump on these conference calls. I'm encouraging everyone to invite at least 2 or 3 people to join us either for team conference calls or conference calls on Tuesdays, or even if you can't find anyone that has that time available, take those links in the audios and send it out to 5 or 10 people and say, hey, in case you're curious, I recently became a consumer energy option utility savings consultant, energy consultant. You should check out this recording of one of our team conference calls or corporate conference calls. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you could see yourself doing it. Curious to hear some of your feedback, because the only reason that Will got promoted to national director this year, and why I made it to national director, was just because we committed. We jumped right in, both feet jumped on the conference calls, not afraid to get out there and talk to people about if they want that free Nest Smart Learning Thermostat when they sign up with Direct Energy for 2 years on gas or electric for their home. And I think Direct Energy is also coming out here with some Nest thermostat options for on the commercial side. So make sure to ask Will or I if you want to know more information on that. So it's, I just am looking back at the time I've spent with Consumer Energy Options. I've said this once, I'll say it again. While I'm very excited about where I'm at today, I guess what I'm even more excited about is, the fact that pretty much anyone and everyone on this conference call, or even someone that joins Consumer Energy Options today, because of our compensation plan, because anyone can get promoted to a senior consultant, regional director, national director. I'm just excited that even though it took me 4 or 5 years to get where I wanted to be and achieve my goals and surpass what I was making at my full-time job previously, and have that be on a residual income basis, I'm even more excited to see who on this conference call, or even someone who's going to join us tomorrow, who's going to far surpass myself or Will with the size of the team that they grow, the amount of income that they build, and just their general impact, positive impact on their community. So really excited about that. One of my favorite books is called The 4-Hour Workweek, and it's by Tim Ferriss, and he talks a lot about how you can how he went out and leveraged the internet and leveraged technology and leveraged a product or service that he had, and he grew his business to be so large that he basically could automate it and have systems to where it would only require him to work about 4 hours per week, and he was making $100,000, $200,000, however many hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was thinking about that, and traditionally you think, okay, someone has to build their own website, find their own product, do this, do that. And it just so turns out that I use Consumer Energy Options to build my business. We got our online back office. We have electronic signups now. We have systems in place where someone can build and grow a team just as fast as they want. And so now I find that since I put in the 3, 4, 5 years of hard work, that even if I want, even when I take vacation, even when I hurt my Achilles tendon, about a month ago, I'm to the point, thankfully, because I was willing to grind it out and put in the work, that if I wanted, I could work 4 hours 4 hours per week and still keep the same amount of income or even have it grow. But because I'm much more ambitious, and I'm not the type of guy to kind of sit back and sit on my laurels, and because I'm so excited about having this Nest thermostat, having some great suppliers, helping people get to where I got to, that's what keeps me motivated, and that's what keeps me going. And the funny thing about all of this is that all the way back at the beginning, when I first told my dad, told my brothers, told my mom about Consumer Energy Options, and that I was going to jump in with both feet, and I was really going to give it my best effort, and not get distracted, not turn back, not do anything. But I was gonna focus, and I was gonna jump in, and I was gonna make it happen. The funny thing about it is that my dad, love my mom, both very well educated. My dad's a doctor, my mom's my dad's a retired doctor, my mom is a retired attorney, and they grew up in their kind of path to success was, okay, go to school, get a good education, go to grad school, get a good education, go to work, get a good job, stay at that job long term, and retire comfortably. And it treated them extremely well. And so when I told them that I was going to do, jump in both feet with consumer energy options, they're like, Nate, why don't you, you got an MBA, why don't you go and, work for a major Fortune 500 company, or why don't you go work for someone and depend on them for a paycheck or for success or whatever it might be. And I said, no, I have a really good feeling about this. Tom and Fred, great guys, residual income, the product that everyone always needs and uses, unlimited income. As soon as I reach my financial goals, I'll be in a good spot to where I can travel more, spend more time with my two young kids. And the funny thing is that, at the beginning, my dad and my mom a little bit, they didn't really see it. They're like, Nate, I don't think you should do this. I don't know. We're not sure. And the funny thing is, fast forward 4 or 5 years, and now my parents are saying, oh man, Nate, I knew you'd do great. We're so glad you did it. We supported you all along the way. And so I guess my 2 comments would be, number one, there's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people that don't get it. Ignore them, work hard, do it anyways. Now I got 3 brothers. I'm the only one of them that can be at every single family event. I'm the only one that can take as much vacation as I want, every year. I've gone from taking, 2 weeks of vacation, when I was an employee, and now, I'm taking, 6 or 8 weeks of vacation, still helping you guys out, staying plugged in, answering some phone calls as I travel and I'm on vacation. But guess what? It's on my own time, which is pretty exciting. One of the other books that's sitting on my bookshelf that I was just looking at was called Ignore Everybody and 39 Other Steps to Being Successful, or something like that. And, the truth is that, should you ignore everyone? Well, not everyone, not Will, not myself, not the leaders, not Tom, not Fred, not Matt Hirschenberger, the people who are trying to help you reach your goals. But anyone who doesn't buy into, what you're up to in consumer energy options and residual income and, getting that free Nest thermostat, should you ignore them? Absolutely. Because guess what? Those are the individuals that, they're going to the clubs and the bars and wasting their time and spending money frivolously and just, focusing on all of the other things, whereas, those that are truly finding success with us, they're not afraid to ignore everyone else and focus and get down to work, because they know that if they push it and if they work hard, that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, they're going to be at exactly where they want to be, residual income, a great energy business, promoted to a regional director, national director, whatever it might be. And that's really how you get there, is you pick out your goal, you decide, what the reason is that you want to achieve those goals. Maybe it's money, maybe it's vacation, maybe it's family, maybe it's seeing your kids, whatever it might be, and you just focus on it. Probably the best thing that I ever did was, once I had some momentum with consumer energy options, I just, I just committed. I went to my boss that, I currently had the full-time job with, and I said, hey, I guess, today is my last, or not today, but, 2 weeks is my last day. I put in my 2 weeks notice. I'm going to jump into the energy business, full force and go for it. And, while it was tough, while it was really tough work at the beginning, if I didn't, if I wasn't 100% committed, if I didn't jump in, 2 feet, I probably wouldn't be where I was today. I'm not telling everyone to go and, quit your jobs and, before you even make any money with us or this, that, or the other. But get committed, whether it's making time for these conference calls or whether it's, whether you're, making that 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever it is on a monthly basis, to where you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you can justify jumping in 2 feet. I say go for it, because it's those who are truly committed and taking action that are making good money with us. And there's going to be a lot of you that that are going to keep your full-time job from now until the time you retire is great. To you, I say, you can still be 100% committed, on the nights and weekends with us, or jumping on these conference calls, over your lunch break. The great thing about where we are in our society today is that back, my grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, they didn't have, the internet. Sometimes they didn't have electricity. They, many of them, the great-grandfathers and great-great-grandfathers, guess what? They could only work while the sun was up. And as soon as the sun would go down, they had to go home because they just couldn't see what they're doing anymore, and they couldn't do any more work. And so, they worked, 8, 9, 10 hours per day. They had their 9 to 5 job, and then they had to quit. Well, with technology and everything else today, this can be your 5 to 9 job, your 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. job. Or, it could be, an hour after work, go home, have dinner, enjoy your kids, enjoy your family, whatever it might be. And then, start, from 9 o'clock at night till 11, crank out some consumer energy option stuff, crank it out on some weekends, crank it out on a Saturday, crank it out on a Sunday. The neat thing is that we really truly do have an opportunity to not just have our 9 to 5 job, but, have that 5 to 9 job that'll give you that extra money to, go out and buy your brand new car, go out and buy a boat or whatever your goals are. So it's those sorts of things that, that get me really excited. I guess the last thing that's really that I wanted to talk today about, and then I'll open it up for questions. If someone has questions about anything, questions about growing your team, questions about what the energy market is doing, I'll make sure to open it up. But the last thing is I read a book. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big. And the baseline of the story is that everything that we experience in life today first starts with the thoughts that we have in our mind. It is a thought of thinking big. It is the thought of committing 100% to get out there and make it happen with consumer energy options. It is the thought to go for a walk or to work out every single morning, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, whatever it is. It's the thought or the commitment to go into your full-time job and to work hard and to do whatever it takes to be a resource, to get that promotion. Whatever it is, whether it's the thought or the commitment to being a great husband, being a great wife, being a great dad, being a great uncle, whatever it is, everything starts with an internal thought and commitment in your mind, which then turns into a physical action of what you end up doing to achieve that thought. And so I read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. I started thinking big. I started thinking on a nationwide scale instead of just individual state. That's probably one of the reasons why I now have a bunch of sales guys everywhere from, Montana to California, Texas, Illinois, New York and Florida. And so I guess I just really encourage everyone to stop having your limiting beliefs. Stop thinking that, I can only make, $40,000 a year. I can only make $60,000 per year. I can only work for 40 hours a week, and I'm confined to, doing the stereotypical 9 to 5 job. As soon as you break out of that, it's really going to be revolutionary for you. Like Will and I were talking about, I think on one of my past team conference calls along with my team is, those individuals who commit and they choose like 30 days and they take massive amounts of action, an unreasonable amount of action to the point to where even if you have a full-time job, waking up waking up early and jamming on the phone and sending out emails from, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., go to your job from, 9 to noon, over the lunch hour, calling on the phone, meeting with people, talking with them from, noon to 1, go back, work the job, after work, set up appointments, meetings, talk with people, build your business. And, the people who are willing to take an unreasonable amount of action, and you're probably going to have people like just like my father, kind of the naysayers, the doubters, but those who take an unreasonable and, 10x times action for the next 30 days, you're going to be well on your way to hitting.
Hey guys, I don't know if Nate's still on or if he got booted off. And if you guys want to unmute to make sure that the line is still going, go ahead and hit star 6.
All right. Hey, sorry everyone. Yeah,
okay.
It's Nate. Sorry, I accidentally hit the hang up button on my phone. But with that, take a bunch of action. Get out there, make it happen, be unreasonable when it comes to, doing whatever it takes to achieve your goals. And guess what? Those naysayers, when they start seeing you having massive amounts of success, all of a sudden they're going to do exactly like what my dad or my parents did, and they're going to be like, man, you know what? You are in a really good spot. Like, I am so proud. I'm so proud of you that you just stuck with it, made it happen. With that, does anyone have, questions, comments, thoughts about the energy market? Just any questions or comments out there today?
Nate, it's Will. I've got somebody else is talking.
Oh, sorry. Ted from Boston. It seems like with all the changes that's going on, it seems like that we're, to me, I don't know because I'm very new in this, but it seems like we have the competitive advantage against everybody now because of these changes that are going on. And where they're paying in the back office and things like this to sign up, and we don't have to pay anything. Is that how it works?
Well, I would say so.
Over these other companies? Because every time I walk in around here and then someone has another bill, I'm always coming up. I can always do better than them.
Yeah. Well, I think when I was talking about that Consumer Energy Options is built to last, one thing that we're always doing is because we have such a large footprint and, because we've had so much success and developed a great reputation, we have suppliers that are tracking us down in different companies that say, hey, what about this great offering? We want to partner up with you. We want to help you do this, or we want to do that, or how can we get your agents on our products or our services or whatnot? And for every one supplier or one offering or one product or whatever it might be that we say yes to, we're saying no to a lot of other things because we want to bring you guys, great pricing, phenomenal products, electronic sign-ups, just things that automate your life to make it easier to go out and sell, bring on customers, bring on teammates, train them. So, we're always keeping an eye to having that competitive advantage because the day you stop growing, the day you stop changing is the day that you start dying. So, it makes me very happy and excited to hear that you're finding that we have a competitive advantage in the marketplace.
Oh, yeah, that's no doubt. I was just wondering, like, those guys somehow, does it work like that? Like, if they're paying every month and they have to have a fee that it raises their price a little bit, or they're passing that on to the consumer somehow, and that's how we stay competitive because we don't do that?
Yeah. So I would have to say that there's two answers to that question. The first answer is that there's a lot of other kind of multi-level marketing companies out there that they promise, all of these huge sign-up bonuses and these huge residual bonuses, and they have, just the way that their comp plan is, what they do is, in order to pay out all these extra incentives, they have to find that extra money somewhere. And so they do it in one of two ways. One way is they have much higher gas or electricity prices. And the other way is that as soon as the customer's current contract ends, they double or triple the price of the electric or the natural gas rate in order to have a bunch of that money coming in. And, so that's kind of the reason why some of these other companies do that, where they want to have all these extra bonuses and incentives. Well, all of that extra money has to come from somewhere, whereas for us, we have it's a very straightforward, relationship that we have with our suppliers, to where, we're able to have the same payout, and then we can go to whatever supplier it is and be able to find these really good prices. Or we're sending, Direct Energy so much business that they're coming back to us and they're saying, hey, how can we get more of your business? And we say, all right, well, you want more of our business, our guys expect the same payout, but we need you to shave down your rates some more. So it's some of those things, just reputation, size, amount of accounts that we bring these people, a lot of these suppliers really wanting our business. So they all add up to hopefully us giving you guys great prices.
No, it's definitely helping. That's for sure. Thank you for all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Will, did you have some comments?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in, guys, and quite frankly, I apologize, Nate. I haven't been able to contain myself for like the past 30 minutes. And the reason why I haven't is I've never been more excited to be involved with CEO ever in the history of my career here. I mean, guys, I don't know if you understand this, but we have the ability to be bigger than the public utilities we live in. We could have more agents than they have employees. I mean, that opportunity is just huge. I mean, name one person you know of that doesn't have electricity that they're using at their house. Name one person you know that doesn't use electricity. Name one person you know that doesn't need to hit their home. The bottom line is this. I brought up a tornado last week. There is a tornado moving. This NEST program, well, some of you, I don't know if any of you sold a NEST program, but we had 20 new NEST programs last week that came in through my team alone. And, one of the things that's going to happen is you're either going to wonder what happened and wish it had, or you're going to be a part of something that's happening. And I would want to jump in that path of that tornado. This NEST program has been just absolutely, we have the ability to help our customers save so much money on so many different things. Nate talked about his business being up 25%. Mine's up 83%, and we don't even have the Direct Energy Commission running yet. And, I mean, I'm actually kind of a little disappointed because it's down from 165% last month over last year. I mean, guys, you guys have the opportunity at CEO is not to be in the energy business. It's not about the energy business. The opportunity at CEO is finding somebody, help them fit a piece of their puzzle, which is a financial need, show them how to make extra money, and we use energy about it. One thing that we have with CEO is you do not have to convince somebody to pay their power bill. They're paying for it, whether you like it, whether we like it or not. Everybody is paying a power bill. Now, the question that you need to ask yourself is, do you want to be a part of them paying their power bill or not? Do you want to go out and help somebody go make an extra $250,000, $500,000 a month, which is totally doable here? Nate brought this up. The most exciting thing I love about CEO right now is the number one income earner in this company probably isn't even in the company yet. And it's just going to be a matter of who brings them in. And it could be any of you on the call right now. It might not even be Nate and I or one of the top leaders or whatever in the company. It could be you. They could see this and say, man, everybody uses power. Everybody uses gas. We can go out and recruit an army of agents that want to go make an extra $250,000, $500 a month. I'm very active in my Chamber of Commerce, and I don't mean to brag about it, but I say they ask how things are going. Well, my business is up 160%, or I'm up 83%. There isn't anybody in my chamber that can say that they're up that much. they might be up 15, 20, or 25%, and they're excited about that. I mean, you guys have the ability today, go out, talk to somebody, and ask them for their bill. Go out, talk to somebody, and show them how you can help them out financially. I mean, it's huge in a recession-proof business. We've got the largest residential electricity supplier in North America, not the United States, North America, asking CEO, what can they do to make our opportunity better? They're asking us. They're doing pricing for us, special pricing. They're paying out commissions like you wouldn't believe, and that's Direct Energy, guys. And to answer Nate's question, they do have commercial Nest programs if you want to offer the Nest to your smaller commercial customers like offices and restaurants and stuff like that. I mean, this thing is huge, and I'm sorry to carry on, but I mean, I have been just absolutely stirring in my seat. So excited for where we're going, what we can do with this company, what we can be a part of, and the only reason Nate and I are as good as we are is because we're surrounded by excellent teams of agents that go out there and do it with us. I mean, we're nothing without you guys. I mean, you guys are so special to us. You guys have the ability, in fact, Nate and I both agree, your opportunity to make more money faster than us is better now than it's ever been in the history of CEO. This isn't one of those deals that, well, if you got in the very beginning, quite frankly, you don't want to know what it was like in the very beginning with CEO. You don't want to know what our website looked like. You don't want to know the paper contracts and the hoops and dealing with polar vortexes and gas prices tripling and quadrupling in 1 month and all this other. I mean, you guys have the opportunity, and the time is now. And it's not wait till tomorrow, wait till another week or whatever. You guys want to be a part of something special. I'd get on the bandwagon right now, make some phone calls after this call, and go see what happens. Stumble your way through it. Stumble your way through explaining it. There's no one right way. There's no one right product. There is no one right rate. We are never going to have the exact right everything right now. The time is now to get up, get after it, make something happen. I mean, just imagine, guys, sitting there and being able to get paid on thousands of accounts. You can't do that as a personal producer. Can't do it as a personal producer. Imagine getting paid on thousands of accounts throughout the country. Doesn't have to be just in the state you live in. Sure, you got family or friends, or maybe you recruit somebody that has friends and family in Pennsylvania or the East Coast or whatever. I mean, this thing, I wish you guys could be in my body right now to feel how excited about where we are going, what we have coming down the pike. All we got to do is just keep throwing in those accounts, especially with Direct Energy. Go get paid next month. Go throw in a few accounts, recruit a few folks that throw in a few accounts, get a $200, $300, $400, $500 check next month. Why not you? Why not you get that check?
Amen, Will. Amen. The other thing that I was thinking about is one of my friends out in Chicago, one of the most successful financial advisors with Northwestern Mutual out there. I don't know. It's probably 3, 4, 5 years ago I sat down with him, and we were talking, and he's trying to figure out if he could help me out with, my financial needs and things like that. And at the end of the meeting, when I was talking to him, he's like, hey, Nate, as you know, I got my financial services business. This is my business. It's whatever I can make of it. I highly depend on referrals from, great individuals. I'm looking to meet really successful people, because I find that the really successful people are the ones that I can help out the most. Could you take 2 minutes and just write down 5 or 10 names of the most successful people that you know and their phone numbers, so that I can reach out to them and see if that I can help them in the same way that I have helped you? And it's no different with our business. I would recommend sitting down and writing down the names of the 5 or 10 most successful people that you know, because guess what? They're going to get it. When they see what we're up to here at Consumer Energy Options, and when you ask them, all right, Do you want to be a customer and save money, or do you want to be a consumer energy options consultant and both save money and make money? What do you want to do? You know, their answers can be like, oh, well, I want to both save money and I want to make money. So go out, write down the most successful people, a whole list of the most successful people that you know. Don't wait. You know, call them today, call them tomorrow at the latest. Stop by their house tonight and get with them, because it's not the small-minded individuals that are going to understand the opportunity that we have here. It's the successful, open-minded individuals that think big and want to, you know, take 6 to 8 weeks of vacation, that want to spend more time with their family or their kids, that are really going to get it. So, you know, with that, do we have more questions before we wrap up the conference call today?
Actually, Nate, the opportunity is that good that you could build a business that you could have 52 weeks of vacation, frankly.
This is true, my friend. And just head down to Mexico or Florida, or find a beach somewhere, and you know, bring your laptop or bring your phone, and you know, sip on pina coladas while you work on the beach, right?
This is a business that you could build that the only worry you have in your life is if there's a cloud in the sky.
Yeah. Amen to that. So, all right. Well, with that, I think we'll wrap it up today. Thanks everyone for joining us. I highly encourage you that when you get this audio recording via email, you know, send it to the 10 most successful people that you know, because, you know, guess what? I bet you one of those 10 most successful people that you know are, you know, could very well be the next top income earner. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you at the top, because the bottom is already full. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you Monday night for my team conference call, or Tuesday next, or I guess Will has a Tuesday night conference call tonight with his team. So thank you much. We'll see you out there.
Thank you. Appreciate all your hard work.
Thanks, Nate.